Grand Rise, Willie Whittle. It shall be dope. That's the pod. Let's get into it.
The time is now on everything. Took my heart away from money. Ain't interested in fame. And I pray that never change. Ambition is priceless. It's something that's in your veins. And I put that on my name. Only
Ambition is priceless. Something that's in your veins. Wale, Meek, Ross was on that. Ambition. I've been listening to that song since it came out, obviously, but this week, I think it's been on repeat for, I don't know, a couple days now. To be ambitious is a different monster. To be ambitious, to understand, like, you can see something upon the horizon, or even if you can't, you just believe that it's there and you do everything in your power to just push towards what you feel today and push that energy forward. To have that ambition, to have that drive, to have that unrelentless grind to go get what you want to go get, it's a blessing. Sometimes it's a curse, but it's a blessing. Like when you really sit with it and you say, like, man, I can't lose. I don't even know what it feels like to lose because I know me and I know what my heart looks like. You know what I mean? That's the difference. That's the difference in what makes the wolves and the sheep differ. That's the difference that takes us to a different place that says, listen, I need to get where I want to be because in my heart and soul, I know where I'm at now is a stepping stone. And it ain't even got to be a negative statement about where you at now. It just has to be, you know, that this is a stepping stone and your next step is greatness. And your next step after that is greatness. Because greatness is a process. It's not a destination. It's a process. Everything you can do can be great. So I digress as I dissect and digest. Calm down, me. Calm down. I'm becoming a very ambitious person. I've been ambitious about a lot of things. The whole concept of how I usually talk about being in my villain era and my villain vision is a big statement to that. When I talk about villains and how they think about world domination or how they can impact the the masses, they see something that says, like, if I do something on a grand scale, I can change the course of the world. Or it could be in a situation of protecting. It could be all the things that they don't want to see happen to the people that they love. I think that, I had a conversation earlier this week that was villains could be misunderstood. I think some villains, majority of villains, all have a purpose. I don't want to get political today, but we see villainous nature now. They have a purpose. Who thinks is right, who thinks is not, is what it is, right? But I'm gonna take it back to where my nature comes from, like the nature of the villainous beast that I speak on, the ambition of the Magnetos of the world, or the Thanoses of the world, right? Because people didn't like Thanos. They was like, Thanos is ridiculous. I'm like, well, once again, I brought it up before that Thanos was one of those ones who, when he first went to his leadership, his world leadership, and he brought up the concept of, we're going through poverty, we're going to run out of food, our whole life group is facing genocide. Like, we're killing ourselves. We will face extinction. There's too many people, not enough food. We're facing extinction. The concept was eliminate half for us to thrive for another 1,000 years. Other than that, we'll only see 50 years at the rate that we're going now. They said we can't do that. We can't do that. Well, how would we pick? How would we choose? Thanos was like random selection. I know a way. Infinity Gauntlet, snap, 50% gone, and we build. They didn't like that. When you explain it in a certain way, it's a sound statement, but it comes with a sacrifice, and I do not like the word sacrifice. I don't. But when you think of it from a betterment piece, could it be? Could it be a thing? Like, I don't have to like the word sacrifice. I don't have to like the idea. Is the idea sound? Now, when you send somebody to act upon the idea, that's when somebody says like, "Whoa, you can't be doing that." I enter hero, right? Hero villain. They still stand firm to their ideals. They still push forward, but it's something different about some villains that like that relentless. I don't care what nobody thinks. They got to do a lot of stuff on their own. People want to help the hero. People root the hero on. Hey, you know, Spider-Man comes swinging through the city. They're like, "There goes Spider-Man." Hey, like, all right, that's what's up. Like, that's cool, but nobody roots for the villain. And like I said, in some cases, the villain, it depends on. Not every villain is good. You got the petty thief, the bank robbers and stuff. Not every villain is doing the right thing, you know. But my favorite villain is Magneto, and I spoke on this before. Like, from an ambitious place, Magneto, his hero counterpart is not the X-Men. It's Charles Xavier, his best friend, right? And the fact that they have the conversation and they defer on one part of the conversation. Charles Xavier has hope for the human race, that they will accept mutants for who they are. And Magneto's like, well, when you're wrong, I'll be here defending us because I don't believe in that same hope dynamic from those people. I know their track record, their history, what's built them, and I'm telling you now, we need to be prepared for anything, a fight, whatever. And he just don't believe it. So he defends and he pushes his people forward. That's what's up. Like, and then when people bring the beef to his table, he's like, you know what? If that's what y'all want to do, let's do it. Let's do it. Then they want to sanction him and keep him down. Like, it's crazy to me. So the vision has to stay the course. The reason why I say villain vision is because like villains have a relentless way of going after what they want, right? So let me dial it back into real life, to me, right? What I want is in my head and in my heart, and I have to believe that what I want will be attained. If that means I have to say, no, I can't go do this, I can't do that, and they be like, oh, you tripping, like you can't, like you don't hang with us no more, you don't talk to us no more, you doing this, you doing that. Yes, you can have whatever feeling you want about me. I'm gonna live rent free in somebody's head as the asshole, the POS, the whatever, just because. But my decision making process is based off of my level of what I feel like I deserve, right? So what happens is, we think about it from a society base or from other people base, and we really care about what other people think. I'm past that now. Like, I'm past what other people think. I feel like the people who care about you, who understand, and who are kind of riding the same path, the same mission of peace through all of the things that they've been through, they understand like, hey, you done hit a limit where you can be so civil, right? I said it last night when I was talking to somebody. I said, Benny the Butcher bar. He said, I'm trying to get big in the paint. Now I'm all rebounds and techs. That Ben Wallace, like Rasheed Wallace mentality, that Shaq mentality, it's I'm dominant here. Like, let me be here and let me be dominant here, and you can't tell me nothing. Right? That's the mentality of how you get things accomplished. You do not have to be what they say you are, but you do have to be as real as you say you are. You got to listen to yourself, and you got to know like what you saying is the truth. Like, you got to believe in you enough to know that what you say is real. And are you as real as you say? Stove God cooks, by the way. My ambition is priceless. It's something that's in my veins, and I pray that never change. That's deep to me. Like, so my ambition is different. My drive is different. My hustle is different. My grind is different. My family dynamic is different. It's a villainous situation for me, in a good way. Like, villains is born. Matter of fact, like, funny story. Like, me and my daughters was watching Wicked the other day, and a dope movie. Once again, another situation where the villain was born. The villain was built that way. Like, they treated somebody who was kind, nice, giving into a villain. So she embraced it. Like, what is the part? Like, what I don't understand, and this is the other piece about villainy. Like, when somebody's ambitious, somebody gets in the way. They say, "Hey, you doing too much." All right, so if that's true, if I'm doing too much, then are you trying to stop me? And if you're trying to stop me, that's a problem. From a human perspective, like, and I'm not talking about none of this other stuff. I'm talking about like personal drive with true goodwill in your heart. Like, I ain't talking about taking over Cincinnati or nothing like that. Like, I ain't trying to go down there and be like, this is my city and I'm gonna blow up every. No. I ain't talking about that. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, when you actually see a purpose, when you actually see a bigger problem to solve, and you find an unorthodox way to solve it, it's the least popular opinion, but it's an unorthodox way to solve the issue. Man, if I gotta go get money, for instance, like, do I want to go drive Lyft, Uber? No, it's not what I want to do. Like, well, what do you want to do? Look at my budget from a long-term perspective, try to invest, try to flip, try to, A, B, C, and D. Short-term perspective, maybe get a second job or something like that. Like, but these are the options. And then you come up with, I could take food off somebody else's plate. That's not cool. Like, that's not cool, because I know how that person feels, and, unfortunately, been down that path. I'm not going backwards that way. But these are the decision making thoughts that people have. Like, and it's funny because, like, even then your dynamic has you have the thought. We're human. You're supposed to have the thought. You're supposed to have the extreme one way, the extreme the other way. What if somebody gives me a hug and say, man, you look like life is rough, let me give you $5 million? Damn, all right, bro. Like, life has been rough. How'd you know? Like, I just feel it in your aura. That's what's up. Or, man, you got to go, I ain't got food on my plates, but you do. Like the wolf, the hunter is in there, and it's like, you have the thought. You have the thought. Like, if you don't have the thought, that's cool. You are who you are, whatever. Me different. I know what I've been through. I know where I came from, but I know where I'm at. And then I reflect back on what put me here, how I'm built, and that ambition is in my blood. That ambition it's in my veins, bro. Like it's just what I do. So now, through the It Shall Be Dope uh, brand and model, like just the concept of taking this to a whole nother level makes me feel just so ambitious. Makes me feel like there's so much more. What tomorrow can hold. What can I bring to the table next? Like all of the ideas that I usually have, that I usually keep under the hat, right? All the ideas that I usually have, like what can they do, and then what can they turn into? Like spark the match, have the idea, have the conversation with somebody whoever your team is that's gonna listen to you in a way that's gonna actually continue to push your ambition because it can't fall on deaf ears. And believe it, believe it, show discipline, believe it. You know what I mean? So make sure you walk that down that path to peace with that ambition that's flowing in your veins. Believe in it. And as long as you do it with love, it shall be dope. Have a blessed day, y'all.